Hello and g'day. My name's Sheldrake and I'm bringing to you the July qualifier for NRL22 in the year of 2023. So in this video I'll be showing 3 stages that I've previously posted individually, but now I'm going to put them all together with a few quick stage briefs before the stage, so you've got a bit of a better understanding of what actually happens in each stage. Now, I do apologise for this video here being a bit low quality and a bit crackly and noisy. I did try and record this with my phone in ultra high definition, but I was having some dramas getting the footage off my phone and onto the computer for editing. So just for now, gonna have to stick with this old camera until I can procure funds to replace it, because I do plan to do that. But here, enjoy this for now. But before you do that, please go send a thank you to JB Precision and Swan Rifle Barrels, because they have made it possible for me to compete in open class with NRL22 in Australia and also compete in bench rest. Both of these sports I'm fairly new to. Positional shooting I'm very new to, so I'm starting at the bottom still, but hey, someone's got to be there. Can't all be at the top. But I'm slowly getting better over time. I am noticing I'm going up in positions, I'm not going down. With bench rest, I just had a really great last shoot, but let's see if I can keep it up. Hopefully I can. If I can, just check out my Instagram, which is the same as my account on here, my YouTube. And if you could, please comment, like, subscribe, and then that way I'll know if I'm wasting my time or not. But I'll probably keep making these for quite a while anyway. Alright, so the first stage we'll be talking about, but wasn't the first stage of the day, was the Boston Flea Party. So apologies if it looks like I'm darting up and down with my eyes. My script is here on my computer, just underneath the camera, just so I get all the facts straight. Alright, so the Boston Flea Party. I quite like this stage. It was incorporating the new pyramid barricade, which is a barricade which is just as the name suggests, a large pyramid. Wooden slats going up and across. You've got the outside edges you can use, and you've got the middle, which was quite handy. Okay, so Boston Flea Party. You have 120 seconds, you have 12 rounds, and you have one target stand with 2 targets on it. You've got a 1.5 inch target and a 2.5 inch target out at 75 yards. 10 points per impact and 0.1 bonus points per second remaining. So from your last shot to the end of the 120 seconds, you could get potential points there. Pardon me. On the start signal, the shooter will engage the target with 2 shots each, large then small, from the following positions. Seated. So with the seated position, you had to have your butt on the ground. There was a stipulation that buttocks must be on the ground, so there was no sitting on feet, no sort of weird positions like that. It had to be butt cheeks on the ground. So after you engage from there, you go to standing and then down to kneeling. So the good thing about this barricade is there was no stipulation on where on the barricade you had to shoot from each of these positions. So if you could reach the bottom rung from the seated position and it was comfortable for you, you could go from there. If you needed to use the next one up because you were slightly taller, you could go from there. So it was really good in that sense. You could also use the middle or the outsides. I opted for going for the outside of the pyramid. I felt more comfortable that way because I could get a better position. I could like hug up on it. So I actually had an interesting run on this stage. So I actually had to run it 3 times. So what ended up happening for me, because everyone else was over in America, we had a really relaxed shoot and we had plenty of time. So what happened with my first run was I put my hand up as it was my fault, although the RO was happy to give me another shot because he knew I was a new shooter and, you know, didn't want to ruin my confidence by just going, nah, you stuffed up, your fault. But what happened was they asked, shooter, are you ready? I said yes, and I had not made ready. I still had my chamber indicator and no mag in, but I was happy to actually continue from there by, you know, pulling it out and chambering and whatnot. I was happy to, you know, use my 120 seconds doing that. He was like, no, it's alright, no stress, try again. Okay, fair enough, if you say. So then on my second time round, I was ready this time, and engaged from the seated position, I actually did fairly decently. And moved to my standing, first shot, bang, okay, cool. Why is the round not loading? Look in, check. The shell has not ejected. I never had this issue with CCI, but now that I've switched over to Ely, I was expecting better. But in saying that, the Ely load so much easier. They load so much easier into my breach than the CCI did. But yeah, this one did not eject. I lost time from that, but again, RO was real chill, and he just said, you know, we'll get it out and you can try again. So I'm really thankful for him for being so chill about everything like that. So I got to actually shoot the stage. And third time through, I got through. So I didn't get the greatest score, but it was better than I would have normally. But also a huge thanks to Ben Dobbins for lending me his Game Changer Schmedium for the whole match. Well, we were taking turns and using it because, yeah, I definitely need one now. After using it, I 100% need one. So, after all that rambling, here's the stage.
Right, so bring the sling with you.
Oh, okay, I don't have a sling.
Fire sling.
Fire sling?
Nah, 50 bucks. Fire sling, and then you get prone shooting, kneeling, sitting, stand. So it does, it covers all of your basic rifles. Very good. And then you can practice on the other two. Just make sure the cycles are lower. So if you've been able to, then you want 2 magazines. This is a fire you have a mag change in.
Let's see if she'll fit up.
Are we talking for 2-2 or? Yeah. Oh, that's
I don't know.
Buy 1 second.
I've googled a couple of places around
You can buy it. He said 427 now, but you can buy a 455, which is mine. You buy use guns and then just put it in an RX chassis.
No, they're going to kind of be doing it in once. How long is it away from these shoots? He's wanting to spend money.
The good news is that if you buy sensibly, you.
So next stage we're going to have a look at is grilling like a villain. So this stage was quite interesting and a bit of a humbler for a few people, only because the wind had been crazy all day. Like, I'd gone from bullseyeing out at Ripley the week before to coming there and having to adjust 2 MOA just to be on target at 50 yards. So it was a little bit crazy, and the wind was never consistently one way. There was actually a moment where the RO had noticed and mentioned to the shooter at the end that he'd shot and he impacted with the berm at the back, and the dust went to the right. At the same time, someone had impacted over on the next stage and hit the berm as well, and the dust went to the left. So it was sort of vortexing it a bit. But anyway, grilling like a villain. So this was the stage where you're shooting from a tripod, and you had 120 seconds, you had 10 rounds, and there was 3 targets out at 2 distances. So you had 75-yard target, which was a 1.5-inch target, and then you went from there to 95 yards, and this is where you got the 2 targets at the 1 distance. So you've got a target on the left and a target on the right. Target on the left was 2.5 inches, and the target on the right was 2 inches. Okay, so stage run through was tripod set at a fixed height of 42 inches, but could be adjusted for young guns and slightly shorter shooters. You know, we didn't want to disadvantage our short kings out there, so it's all about having fun, realistically. Alright, so from there it's 10 points per hit out of a possible 100. On start signal, the shooter will take position on top of the tripod and engage each target with 2 shots in the following order. So far left, so that's 95 yards, 2.5-inch target. Far right, which is the 95 yards, 2-inch target. And then near, which is your 75-yard, 1.5-inch target. And then you went far left, far right again. So all those 2 shots each, and yeah, it humbled a few people. There was a few misses. There was also a stipulation on this stage that the rifle was not to be clamped in using an arca rail or using a saddle or any sort of device like that. It had to either be on top of the tripod as is, or because it was just the head or the bowl of the tripod, and you could put a bag on it. That was it. You couldn't use any clamping devices. Right.
So starting far left.
Far left, then right, then close. Yeah,
So
left,
two-
then right.
So two left, 2 right, 2 there, 2 left, 2 right. Yeah. Alright, gotcha.
Alright, we good to start?
Yep.
Spotter ready? Shooter ready?
And now.
Do you understand the course of fire?
I do.
Are you ready? Yeah, ready? Shooter ready?
Get ready.
Really? Do you believe what you just travelling?
Like it's blue.
Impact.
And if they pulled you up, they
Impact.
Was that 2 on that?
Yes, that was 2 on the bottom. Impact.
he put his
Impact. Impact.
For our final one, Suns out, guns out. I quite like this stage as someone who has shot 22 bench rest and 22 F class before. I like prone stages. I actually did. I think this was my better stage. I only dropped 4 shots in this stage. I know that sounds like a lot to some guys, but being that I still feel like I'm starting out in this sport in positional shooting, this was a good run for me. So it was 120 seconds, 12 rounds, and so with this one you had 3 distances for the targets you had to shoot at. So you had a KLY at 35 yards, which went from 1 inch, 3/4 inch, half inch, and 1/4 inch. And then out at 60 yards, you had a 1.5 inch. And then out at 90 yards, you had a 2.5 inch. Now, here's where it gets tricky. You were not allowed to dial at all on this stage. You could adjust parallax and zoom, that was it. No dialing. So, this one is also a little bit of a, until you actually think it through, it was a little bit of a jumble. So, the way that this one started was, you shot at your 60-yard target, which was the 1.5 inch, and then you went to the far target, which was your 2.5 inch, and then you came back to 35 yards, shot the 1 inch. So after doing that, you would then engage the 60 yard, 90 yard, and come back to the KLY again, but instead of engaging the 1 inch again, you now engage the 3/4 inch. So you are progressively working away across the KLY while still engaging the 60 and 90 as well. So it was 60, 90, 1, 60, 90, 3/4, 60, 90, half, 60, 90, 1/4. As I said, I dropped about 4 shots on this one, but I feel like I did fairly well.
That one's a bit stuck.
He's a little bit, isn't it?
I'll give it. I'll try and fix it.
You can hit that down, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, shooter make ready, maybe.
You'll probably find if you hit the first 2, she'll shake loose.
Wake up my own.
Shooter understand the course of fire.
Shooter does.
Spotter ready.
Yeah, ready?
Shooter ready.
Shooter ready.
Stand by.
Last one.
Thank you if you've made it this far. Again, please comment, like, subscribe, all that good nonsense. Just let me know how it's going on the video and what you'd like to see implemented. And if I can, I will. Alright, cheers.